Very rarely on this channel do I give my personal opinions about anything, but I want to make this quick video and talk about how I think the United States of America, the USA, is dead. Now, don't label me a hater of the USA. I love this country. I love being from here. I love everybody in here. I love my fellow Americans. I love all that good stuff. I hate to get political. I hate this kind of stuff, mainly because it divides people, okay? The problem with this country is that it was bought and sold a long time ago. We have a super class of wealthy people. There's, kind of wealthy people like myself, 6 and 7 figure kind of people. This is nothing. We're talking about people that money is just monopoly money at that point. And the problem with that system where it's like crony capitalism, they have friends in Wall Street, they have friends on Capitol Hill, they have friends that they just call mingle together, is they only care about making more for themselves and less than everybody else. Over the time of my lifetime, we've seen that they took over the media. They took over, all of your information, knowing where you are with your phone. They might shut down this video. Who knows, right? But what I also hate, is I hate still seeing a lot of my fellow Americans buying into this stuff, buying into the idea that's just all marketing. I'm an affiliate marketer. I'm a marketer of my own program. I'm a marketer online. I understand these principles. And the more that you learn about it, the more that you realize almost everything is marketing. Go to school, get a good job, work hard. Money doesn't make you happy. It's nonsense. They taught us a lot of this stuff when we were kids, and it was ingrained into our brain. I've never seen a rich person on a jet ski like frowning and like sad. And don't get me wrong, it is true to an extent that money doesn't automatically make you happy, right? We do have some rich people who are well off, who are still depressed and on drugs and all this other stuff, right? But what money does is they can afford to go to a therapist. They can afford the best medications. So it is at least the lubricant that makes life just a little bit easier, right? And I would say a lot easier. I would much rather be sad and rich than sad and broke, okay? That being said, another point I want to make about this super elite class is that they're starting to get more and more pompous as time goes on. All the celebrity culture and everybody is holier than thou and they know everything, and they try to push all of their ideals on the masses of people that you must accept this or you're a bad person, and it's all nonsense. At the end of the day, they understand the strategy, okay? In marketing, we have this principle called us versus them. It's one of the best strategies there is. If you're tuning into this channel and you watch me talk about affiliate marketing, you watch me talk about all the best ways to make money online, occasionally I might tear down another program. I might say Legendary Marketer sucks, which is my honest opinion. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. But at the same time, you might have somebody from Legendary Marketer or somebody who tried the program thought it was awesome and can't understand what I'm talking about, and it creates a collision, right? But that's just marketing. That's all it is. It's just marketing. It's an us versus them mentality. If you can't draw a line in the sand, you don't separate audiences and you don't get people passionate about something. I'll give you an example on the United States front, on the big picture. This whole thing about race this and race that and race baiting and black and white and purple. I'm Puerto Rican, right? That's my ethnicity. But if you dig deeper, Puerto Rican's just a nationality. I'm black, I'm white, I'm native. I have a lot of different genetics in me that make me who I am, so I can relate to all different cultures and backgrounds and things like that. And I hate to see people fighting about race, because I promise you that when these big billionaires meet up in a room and they're planning and plotting on how to separate the masses and keep people angry and keep people stuck at home, keep people depressed, keep people in the consumer mode. It's a proven fact that if you're afraid, if you're having anxiety and you're just messed up in the head, you're gonna buy more naturally because you feel incomplete, because you feel like you need the next thing. You're gonna constantly be in this hamster wheel of buying and buying and buying, passively just accepting the next thing that comes along. So they keep us fighting. They keep us fighting who's right, who's wrong, black versus white, man versus woman, trans versus non-trans. It's just all this stuff. It boils down to, if the masses are in smaller and weaker groups, they can't fight back against the system that threw them overboard years ago. If you've never heard of this analogy, it's called the frog in the pot. If you put a frog inside a boiling pot of water, they'll jump out immediately. But if you put that same frog in a pot of water, lukewarm water, and you gradually turn up the heat over a very long period of time, the frog will not notice the temperature change. I was born in the mid 80s. And I know people much older than me, and they have seen the gradual change that I'm talking about. They have seen the super elite slowly take over all of our daily freedoms, slowly take over our minds, which is the most important freedom you have. Always be careful of where your beliefs come from. If all of a sudden your neighbor is black, you're white, and you started having some disdain towards your neighbor, and you've lived next to them for years, and vice versa, you're black and your neighbor's white, and you're starting to look at them like, you know, I hate white people or whatever, question your beliefs. Who's really planting those ideas in your head? Do the elites want you guys to fight? Because honestly, who cares? Who cares at the end of the day? Just treat people the way that you want to be treated. Treat people with respect. I don't care what color anybody is. That's the last thing I think of when I look at somebody. Who cares? You know, I think of their character. I think most people can agree with that. I think most people come from the idea that, hey, I'm going to wait till you show me who you are to, you know, if I'm going to treat you bad or hate you or feel bad about you or anything like that. I'm not just going to judge you right up front. Most people have enough sense to be that way. So where's all this disdain, man versus woman? Everybody's just fighting each other about every little thing because, again, it's marketing. It's just marketing. They know if they can have you guys, the poor and the middle class, arguing about all this nonsensical BS, then they and their criminal friends on Wall Street can run out the back door with all the money. Then you won't pay attention to what's really going on. And I hate to be on my sandbox and be on here on YouTube screaming at the top of my lungs and everything, but I thought it was about time for me to give my political opinions. I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat. I have my own opinion about different topics. It depends what you ask me. But I always try to think of everyone. In my opinions, I say, you know, what is the best for everyone? And it depends. But what I hate and what I think is not the best for everyone is just because somebody disagrees with you, you automatically hate them or you demonize them. It's this red versus blue, left versus right, and it never ends. It just never ends. When are we gonna come together? No laws ever get passed, nothing ever gets done. We gotta come together and figure out what will work. We have to put our minds together and we gotta stop arguing. I've never had an argument with somebody where we were clashing and somehow I was magically able to change their mind. When you're combative, it's not gonna work. You have to be collaborative. So I just wanted to make this quick video and talk about just the state of the times and how it worries me. It worries me as a father. It worries probably you as a father or a mother. And just to make sure, hey guys, raise your kids based on those strong principles and ethics that the country used to be built on. Treat people fairly, you know, treat people with respect, respect yourself. Don't be a passive consumer. You know, worry about your own future, your own income, your own everything. And along the way, help people and be respectful and be kind. Simple stuff that it feels like we're getting away from because we're so busy screaming at each other and putting each other down. I'm not a fan of that stuff. I've been in jail most of my life and I was very violent and very anti everything. And I just got exhausted after I beat my drug addiction, beat everything. I got exhausted with that angry, negative spirit. And I feel so much better nowadays that I've had this kind of awakening, and I feel like it's so much better to just be positive, to just, you know, take things in stride and not get angry about every little thing. It's just so much energy spent. As they say, the devil feeds off that energy. Let's let it go and let's move on. Let's get back together as Americans, as a country. If you're outside the US, this is for you too, but us Americans, we got to get our stuff together, man. I'm the infamous Joel, and I'm out.